When it comes to polishing your shock shafts, I use a low grade Autosol chrome polish, and I'll just use that on a old little towel or a rag there, and I'll just put a little bit on there like that. I've got the shaft in the end of my Dremel there. The Dremel's set on a really low speed. What I'll do is I'll just rub the shaft a little bit there so it's coated a little bit, and then literally just turn the Dremel on and then rotate and move up and down. Nice and smooth action. And what I'll do with it still on, I'll just wipe it off, make sure it's all nice and clean. Turning that off, take it out of the chuck. Give it a last little wipe off. And there you go, you got one polished chrome shaft. Physically, there's not much of a difference in the look of it, but I can guarantee in the feel of it, one is quite a lot smoother, and it's really nice, and you do notice a difference as soon as you put it on in the shock, and it's really buttery smooth. One of the most simplest things, and I always see on forums or Facebook posts or even at the track, is getting this into that. And I'll often see sometimes at the track people get it misunderstood and they'll wrap it round there like that, or and honestly there is no surefire way to get it in there, but what I've found is the easiest thing to do is lay it on top, just drop one side in there and it'll seat in the groove, and just push down and that'll go in there like just that. Before we finish up the shock part of the build, I just wanted to clear up a little bit of confusion that's been around the shock ends. With the B6d you get two lengths, you get a short and a long. Now basically with the setup, and you'll see in the setup that I'll post with this build, on the front you'll want to use the short rod ends. The only time that you'll run the long rod ends on the front of the car is if you're using the outside hole on the front arm. With the rear, you always use the long rod ends no matter which hole you're in on the arm. The only time you would use the short rod ends on the front, on the rear of the car, is when you run the shocks, the rear shocks on the front of the tower and on the front of the arm. Because with the B6s you can run the shocks on the rear of the tower or the front of the tower. So it's easy just to remember, if it's on the rear of the rear tower, long rod ends. If it's on the front, use the short. And like so with the front, only time you'd use the long rod ends is on the outside most hole on the arm.